Hello, everyone. My name is Sharon Toomey. I'm an occupational therapist working with individuals who have developmental disabilities. Today, I will be talking about meal modifications for individuals who have difficulties chewing, feeding, and/or swallowing. The guidelines I use come from the Commonwealth of Massachusetts DDS Northeast Region OT Department. The manual can be located at the day programs or residential programs. It consists of all the specialized diets that will be reviewed today, and it also includes foods to avoid on specialized diets. The objectives of this training are to define food textures, liquid consistency references, and how to recognize them. For individuals who have difficulties chewing, feeding, and/or swallowing, may need their foods modified to enable a safe swallow. The first diet we have on the list is a regular diet. There's no modification needed for this diet. It's served restaurant style in its whole form. The next diet is cut up diet. It's half-inch bite-sized pieces. This is for individuals who cannot bite from a whole. The next diet is chopped diet. The tools on the left here are very useful to achieve the varied diets going forward. The foods may be scraped with the spatula to achieve a uniform diet. Chopped diets are for individuals who have difficulties pulverizing the foods, so we need to do the work for them. The next diet is ground diet. This diet is considered apple seed size. It's very moist, and this is for individuals who may have difficulties mashing the foods, and they have very, very limited chewing skills. So again, we need to bind the foods together to enable a safe swallow. The next diet is puree diet. The puree diet is very smooth and it drops off the spoon just like pudding. There are no lumps. For individuals who have severe swallowing needs, they may need the purees put into a fine mesh strainer to get rid of any of the minuscules or granules that may get caught at the back of the throat. If the food you prepare does not meet the texture ordered by the doctor, it must not be served. This is another review of the varied diets on this sheet here. Next, we have pacing strategies. Pacing strategies are specific for the individual's needs, and they must be reviewed with the colleagues, and the colleagues must be trained to carry them out. First, we have a Provial cup. The Provial cup offers just one sip at a time. We may use smaller bowled spoons to eliminate too much food that goes on the spoon. We also have another type of youth spoon that's very helpful for individuals who may have a limited grasp. This is a good grip spoon, so it encourages grasp, and it's very good for individuals who have seizures where it does protect the teeth. We also have the tri-plate, and that's very helpful to scatter the foods across the plate. The nosy cup, we may fill the nosy cup 1 to 2 sips to enable alternating the liquids with the solids. And here's a setup here that has 2 separate half teaspoons to avoid the liquids from being combined with the solids. We'd never want to mix the solids with the liquids. Next, we have thickened liquids. The first is not on here. This is thin liquid, and this just pours off the spoon very quickly, just like water would. The next is nectar thickened liquids. And this is very much, it pours off the spoon very much like chocolate syrup. As you can see, there's more body to it, and the reference for this nectar thickened liquids is chocolate syrup. The next we have honey thickened liquids. And honey thickened liquids pour off more slowly than nectar, as you can see. And honey is a good reference for this diet. I'm sorry, liquids. Okay, and next is pudding, and that just plops off the spoon just like pudding. Strategies used to avoid swallowing hazards include, we want to review the dining protocol. We want to compare the food textures and liquid consistencies with the most recent MD order. We want to carry out any pacing by portion control strategies or other dining protocols, always by a trained colleague. And we want to always use any adaptive equipment when indicated. We want to monitor the environment for low stimulation. And we want to look to make sure that the individual has proper positioning. So ideally, the neck should be at midline as possible with the slight chin tuck. The trunk should be upright with the knees, hips, and ankles at 90 degrees. The hips should be all the way back in the chair. The dangers of swallowing problems can lead to changes in mental status. Pain in the esophagus can lead to self-injurious behaviors or aggressive behaviors. And when the foods and the liquids become too difficult to chew and swallow and drink, it can lead to dehydration and refusal to eat, which can lead to malnourishment. And any foods that can get caught in the lungs can lead to aspiration, and aspiration can lead to pneumonia, which can cause death. Next, we want to label each diet as shown. This diet here is considered a regular diet. There's no modification needed. Next, we're looking at meat sauce. It's apple seed size. And we're looking at meat that has a lot of cream sauce. It's apple seed size. Is it puree, ground, or regular? If you answered ground, you are correct. The next diet shown, this guest here is at the program. He feeds himself very quickly and has a cut up half-inch bite-sized diet. What should we do before serving this food to the guest? The breads and fruit need to be further cut into half-inch bite-sized pieces. But in addition to this, we do want to check the dining protocol to be sure that there aren't any pacing strategies given this scenario. And adaptive equipment. We want to make sure he doesn't have any specialized equipment that he needs to enable safe swallow and proper pacing. The next, we want to label each food texture as shown on the plate. So the carrots, vegetables, and meat are considered chopped diet. And the reason for this is that there isn't enough gravy or sauce to bind the foods together without having them scatter in the mouth. So they are considered chopped diet. The bread and fruit are considered cut up, half-inch bite-sized pieces. Question number 5. These desserts are considered ground texture. The answer is false. So the takeaway from this is that dining safety begins with recognizing appropriate food textures and liquid consistencies. We always want to make sure that we follow the dining protocols and MD orders as indicated to enable a safe swallow prior to serving the meal. If you have any questions regarding this, please reach out, and thank you for joining me.